All right. Welcome, welcome. We're here with the man, the myth, the legend, Nick Fell. Thanks for being here, brother.
Guys.
What's up, man? Awesome, man. Well, Nick, tell the people how much weight have you lost in DK so far?
So as of this morning, I'm down 35 pounds.
Nice. 35 pounds. Let's freaking go. And how long has it been since you initially
I
started the journey?
my first full day was October 6th, I believe, of last fall. So what are we, 5 months in? Five and a half?
Awesome, man. That's amazing, brother. And where'd you start at weight wise?
208.
Go away. Awesome. So this morning you
Yep.
were what exactly?
173.
Nice. Nice.
I've been as low as 172, bounced right around 172, 173. But
Nice, man. Well, that's awesome, brother. That's awesome. We're super proud of you, man. And you're such an active guy in the community. So it's always good to see guys like yourself winning and seeing such good success here. And I'd love for you to kind of just walk people through the process for you. Like, what exactly were you struggling with, and really looking to change when you first joined?
yeah, so I would say that I was pretty unhappy with my self-image for quite a while. I actually started following you and Gabe on Twitter. That's how I found you. I'm not sure how I stumbled upon you guys, but I'm glad I did.
That magic
And I,
algorithm.
yeah, um, I watched your guys' videos and the things you were posting for quite a few months before I finally pulled the trigger and decided to reach out. I had finally just reached that point where, I was sleeping like crap. I wasn't getting good rest. I was just having weird body pains, just weird things happening to me that I felt like were probably related to my health, my overall weight, and just the things I was eating and not eating. Um, and so I was like, well, I'm going to check these guys out. And so I reached out and got a meeting. I struggle and I apologize. I can't remember the name of the first guy I met with there to kind of tell me what the options were and what things looked like. And I'll be honest, when I first heard the price, I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked, but ouch. Can I do that? And I took some time. I'm a guy who's pretty strong in my faith, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk to my wife. I really feel like this is an investment worth going for. So, man, I'm sure glad I did.
Yeah.
Um, Putting
Yeah,
that
no.
monetary amount in it's not the funnest thing in the world, but it puts some accountability even more than just answering to other humans and other guys.
Mhm.
That monetary is like, yeah, I'm putting money towards this. I'm going to work at it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the investment in and of itself almost acts as a form of accountability. But like for
Absolutely.
you, other than that investment, that skin in the game, what made the investment actually worth it to you?
Oh, everything. I mean, it finally got me onto a mindset and a program that I could stick with and that I could see results and not want to go back to the old habits, the old eating habits, the old, laziness, the old talking myself out of being active. For so long, I feel like I had just talked myself into kind of the worldly thought of, um, well, this is just what happens when you get older. Your metabolism slows down. You've got kids, you've got a wife, you've got a full time job, you've got all these different checklists that you've got to accomplish every single day. So this is just the natural thing that happens when you get older. Um, and in that knowing now, it does not have to be that way. It should not be that way. And so I'm just so thankful for finally pulling the trigger and going for it, and for you guys in this program.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And you see me chuckling over here as you riddle off all of the limiting beliefs that everybody holds about, how to get healthy and how to actually get the weight off and keep it off. So I couldn't help but chuckle as you were breaking that down because I know so many guys struggle with it. And
Yeah.
obviously it was something that was top of mind for you too at one point in time. And so I'm curious, maybe like what else had you tried previous to this to try to solve that?
In the past, I had tried a couple of, I won't name names, but basically diets that come with like the pre-packaged, here's what you eat five times a day, and then you get one one meal a day to try and, curb your hunger, which didn't work very well. Yeah, I would drop a few pounds. I would be really angry the first 3 days because I'd get hangry.
Yeah.
I would drop the weight and then, you know, I'd put it right back on. A month after quitting the program, yeah, I got some tools from it, but I'd go right back to the same eating habits, the same. The other thing about it too that I think about is, because the calorie deficit was so low, and I'm sure there was some built-in protein and stuff, but because everything was so low, they actually said, don't work out because your body doesn't have enough caloric intake to really
Mm.
fuel you. And so I got no workout program, nothing to follow. So basically, as soon as I stopped with the prepackaged meals, um, it was right back to the same old thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's frustrating, man. Like there's very few things that frustrate me more than, unfortunately seeing so many guys fall victim to those type of methods that are really just like chew you up and spit you out. Here's
Mm-hmm.
this extreme approach, best of luck, deal with the hangriness.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they send you on your way. I mean, what do you think was different about this approach compared to those approaches that made this actually sustainable?
Well, honestly, I didn't have to change that much. I could pretty much continue to eat a lot of the same foods. I didn't have to, make a special plan for, if I was eating with family or eating out, or, I didn't have to be different than everyone else around me. I just had to be more accountable for what I was putting in my body. There were certainly a few things I needed to give up that were, that first couple of days of entering what was going into my body, into the calorie tracker, was pretty eye opening. Starting out at, like, I think my first 12 weeks I was consuming about 1,800 calories a day, and I started every day with my Starbucks. I had to have it. I needed my coffee. I hit it on my way to work. And the first couple days, well, really the first day, I was like, holy crap, 530 calories gone just from that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And in my mind, I had talked myself into, well, that's one of the healthier drinks. It's just an Americano with a little white chocolate, you know, but no. And sometimes, it's a rough day. I might have, a smaller version of that in the afternoon on my way home because I'm just dragging and I don't want to be tired when I get home to my family. And just that perpetuation of the same old habits and the same old things of talking myself into justifying what was going into my body. And I also realized I was ingesting a lot of my calories through drinks like the coffee. I wouldn't say that I've ever drank alcohol excessively, but it does add up. Having a few beers with friends or family on the weekends, I could consume 1,000 calories without even thinking about it
Mhm.
over the course of a couple days or whatever. So um, I would say, like I said, just not having to change too much and just paying more attention to the breakdown of protein, fat, carbs, those sorts of things was huge.
That makes a ton of sense, man. It makes a ton of sense. I appreciate you sharing this. Yeah, little things like a Starbucks Americano can can certainly have a negative impact when you actually start doing the math.
Yeah,
Oh, the
for
Starbucks
sure.
milkshakes.
Yeah, yeah. You start to realize the actual sacrifice that you're making by having that. You're like, wait a second,
Yeah.
I can have so much food for 500 calories instead.
I remember my initial meeting coming into the program too. It was like they, the guy asked at the beginning, um, what does your normal day look like? What do you drink? What do you eat? I'm not really a breakfast eater, never have been, just don't really care for it much. Takes me a while to get up and feel hungry. So, and then as far as like lunch, I've never been real bad about going out just because I try to be conscious of my spending. So I would take leftovers or whatever. But man, between that Starbucks in the morning and then getting home and being hungry and just consuming, way too much at dinner. And then, when it went into relaxation time, continuing to just digest crappy foods that were going straight to places they didn't need to be. And, you know, despite not eating maybe for the first half of the day, I was still way over on what my body actually needs for calories.
It is eye-opening, man, right? It's one of those things, as soon as you actually do the numbers, you realize how far gone you are. Right? It's literally one of the first things that we have you guys do is get in touch with that. And I'm curious, Nick, for you, I mean, what would you say if you had to maybe summarize it briefly? Like, what would you say the overall impact of just working with us is for you as a whole, not just in your health and fitness, but kind of every area of life? I mean, what would you say the overall impact actually was for you?
Well, it's been big for me personally. It's definitely been big for my relationship with God. It gives me a lot more time to just focus on positive energy, and that's getting back into the word. It's prayer. It's being more intentional with my wife and with my girls. And it gives me pride too, to hopefully show them an example of choosing a healthy lifestyle and that it's not out of reach for anyone. It's just about prioritizing it. Nobody is too far gone until you get buried 6 feet under. You are not too far gone. You are not too far gone from health, from saying yes to God, from being a better husband, from being a better father. And so I would say that's my summary from this program.
Yeah, that's a great summary. I've been thinking about this idea of how, our lives are supposed to confirm the message of God's grace, that we're never too far gone. And,
Mhm.
our health is one area where we can show that we're never too far gone. And you've really shown that. So that's been awesome, man. So yeah, I mean, if somebody's listening to this right now and they were in similar shoes to where you were in when you first started this thing, and they're having similar hesitations or similar thoughts or similar limiting beliefs, what would you say is the reason why they should take action and make a change in their life right now?
Well, Reader's Digest, go for it, would be the 3 words I would use most of all. But, um, even if maybe your faith is not where you want it to be, or maybe it's not where it's at for me, um, it doesn't matter, because I think you can even still think about that in the sense that the world is constantly telling us to invest in something. The world likes to tell us to invest in ourselves, for sure. Do whatever makes you happy type of deal. It's true to a certain extent. Um, but invest financially, invest the time, invest the energy into being the best person that you can be. And I know that might sound cliche, but um, it's true. And I don't have any regrets from this. I don't have any regrets from the money that it's taken, from the changes that it's taken, from the relationships that it's changed. I view some of my friendships and some of my relationships differently now. And not to say that, I've eliminated anyone from my life. That's not true. Um, but it definitely makes me more conscious of those who I'm surrounding myself with, and and if nothing else, at least the opportunity to hopefully be an example to them too. And that doesn't mean that I've got it all figured out. It doesn't mean that I'm, any better than anyone else. We're all equal, in God's eyes, but that just doesn't mean that we don't have things to show others, just like there's others that can show me things too.
Right.
Amen, brother. Amen, man. Well, dude, we're so proud of you, man. I mean, we love having you. Like I said, I mean, uh, if we could just clone a million Nick Fells, we would have the freaking awesome, most optimal client pool of all time. You've just been so dedicated to this. I literally made an example of you in the group the other day. I was like, everybody should do exactly what Nick did in terms of just how consistent you were and how dedicated you were to the process. So, I mean, we've loved every second of having you here, man. And I love the fact that you were willing to come on here and just kind of share your experience and inspire somebody else to take action, man. So we've loved every second of it, and we're super proud of you, brother.
I appreciate you guys very much. I appreciate you saying that. I never would have thought I'd be the model DK guy going into this program. So
Here we
um,
are. Here we are,
here
brother.
we
Here we
are.
go.
Here we are. So yeah, man, I'm proud of you, man. And it's always fun too to have the like face transformation on Zoom because every time I talk to you on Zoom, you look leaner and leaner just in the face. So it's always
Yeah,
fun to see that progression happen every time we come on Zoom. I'm like, dude, Nick looks leaner than ever, brother. I was the same. We haven't been on Zoom in a few weeks, so I was like, man, you're looking good, dude. So yeah,
yeah.
man, it's been great to have you, and it's been great just watching you actually kind of really step into my opinion like an exemplary leadership position in the group. So we're proud of you, man, and we love having you.
I appreciate that very much, guys.
Yeah.
I love being here.
Yeah, brother. It's been great, man. Well, thank you for doing this, brother.